Good morning, my friends. It's so good to be here with you today on this super rainy and cold where I'm at. Man, it's weird. It's like not normal Florida winter weather, but I'm going to be fine. And I know everybody all over the place is freezing right now. So no complaints from over here in the Sunshine State. But I will say that this morning I absolutely had something on my mind, and I've been busy with clients all morning, back to back, helping people with whatever they have going on. And I was just dying to get on here and talk to you guys about today's topic on this episode because I keep seeing it come up, and I think my intuition is trying to tell me that I need to do more of a focus on this particular topic. So I'm going to. So today we are going to start out by talking about burnout. And I probably don't need to say this, you guys, but some of you look at burnout like it's this elusive thing so far away from you, it can't even get close to you. And then some of you have experienced it firsthand and know what a beast it is and know that it can seriously alter your everyday life in way more than just your business, right? Just in every relationship, in every way. Now, as always, the best thing to do, right, would be to prevent it. And so I want to share this episode with you with also like a little bit of a preventative kind of outlook on it so that this can touch you no matter where you're at on your journey. We are at the end of what tends to be a pretty busy season for most photographers. And we're now into those months that are kind of like in a wave. Some are busy, some are not. Sometimes things are slow. So it's really a great time to dive into these like foundational things about ourselves that do tend to branch out when they are overlooked. So that's a hint. So let's go ahead and get started on today's episode. Hey friend, welcome to Deep Healing for Creative Entrepreneurs. My name is Aubrey Barr, and I am a subconscious release technique practitioner and photography business owner. I know you are sick of ending your day feeling overwhelmed and exhausted, and you are seeking a solution to help you feel creatively inspired and actively engaged in your business as well as personal life. In this podcast, we are going to dig into any limiting beliefs or subconscious programs that are keeping you in a space filled with anxiety and stress. This work is not a temporary solution for your life. No, this is a complete transformation. So grab your coffee or tea and let's start you on the road to healing. And let me just say, you can do this. You are worth it. And you are meant to thrive in life and business. So let's dig in. So there's so many degrees of burnout that it's so possible that you have experienced it on a different level than others. And it's also possible that you've had it so bad that you had to step away from your creative endeavors for quite some time. So first, understand that you don't have to own a business to get burnout. You don't have to follow any kind of strict rules around sharing your work and receiving money to experience burnout, but it is something that happens in business. I also know plenty of photographers who have suffered burnout just from using photography for their creative projects and not being able to fulfill some kind of mold that they had set out in their mind. And so it's just important all around for us to discuss it. And the more we discuss it, the more likely people are going to be to make necessary changes in the way that they do things now in order to accommodate any kind of issues with burnout in the future. Now, if you guys want to really dive into what is going on emotionally and energetically with burnout, I have a million episodes for you. Okay. It's something I talk about all the time. It's something that I believe is really, really deeply entwined with generational trauma and programs that way. But for today, I am going to do something different. I, Aubrey, am going to not go straight to the root and really fight my desire to go stinking deep in 2 seconds and stick with something that I know you guys can start using today and apply to your life in whatever direction you need to in order to help you with those beginning stages of burnout and just setting yourself up for not having to deal with it. That is really my goal for today. One of the most important things that you can do today to set yourself up to avoid burnout in any kind of degree would be to reach out and find yourself a support system. And I don't mean your husband or wife, and I don't mean the people in the local photography group that you don't really know or don't talk too much. I really want you to start looking ahead and look at your business like this is a family unit and you are the head, okay, 100%. This is your business. I like to put God up at that CEO spot, but you can do what you got to do with that. But I want you to look at your business as this tree, and there's a spot for you, there's a spot for the way you organize, and maybe there's a spot for a marketing person or an assistant or a second shooter that you use sometimes, whatever. Maybe you have someone that edits for you, that's fine. But somewhere in there, I need you to add a friend. Yep, I'm calling in a friend. And I don't mean just some random person. Like, I want you to get out of that comfortable place of I own my own business, I do everything on my own, I'm super independent, and I love that. And I text my friends sometimes and we have a conversation, but I'm not getting real with people, and I'm not being authentic, and I'm not taking things off my chest and giving it to someone else so they can hold a space for me. When we don't let other people feel us, when we don't let them understand where we're at, nobody can. Like, you're literally closing off that energy and you're saying, that's mine to feel. And that's okay, but it's actually a trauma response, right? So what I really want you to do is say, who can I make friends with that I can say, okay, can we be friends now? And we'll be a support system for each other. And when things come up with the business, maybe it's another photographer, but it also could be a painter, or maybe your friend that's a speaker, or maybe, your friend that's an online coach, whatever. Can you say to them, hey, let's be a support system for each other. Let's check in once a week. We'll do a virtual coffee date. Let's maybe meet in person, whatever works. But let's use that time not to gloss over business, not to gloss over the ups and downs and the lonely days and the, anxiety and whatever else comes up for you. But let's actually purposely set it aside as a business meeting where we say, okay, I'm going to talk about what's going on in my business, and then you're going to talk about what's going on in your business, and we're going to troubleshoot with each other. And what this does is, one, it gives you a definite spot for your business needs. Now, I'm going to just come in here and say, maybe you have a best friend that you do this with, but maybe they don't run a business. Or maybe they're actually homeschooling right now and it's really hard for them to get away time. I super want this to be a dedicated time just to talk about business, just to talk about how it felt when you got ghosted last week, just to talk about how your marketing has flopped and you didn't book any clients like you thought you would this week. Like, lay it all out there. Share yourself with the world. What's happening so much is that we are putting ourselves in these tiny little boxes, and I'm guilty of this too, and only sharing some things that happen while spending those days of just like feeling bad about something. We spend those days by ourselves. We keep that in, right? Really, we're meant to share. We are meant to take the burden off of each other. And so I feel like with people who end up with burnout, one thing, they're disconnecting from their intuition 100%. And I talk about that so much, but also they're probably not set up to receive that support. So in those moments, they might finally reach a breaking point and they might text their, sister, and maybe their sister's at work and, she doesn't know the drill and she doesn't know that, hey, this 30 minutes is meant for talking about the business and how I feel and laying my emotions out, right? Not just the strategy, not just the, numbers, not that, but actually like, how does my business feel right now? Add some feelings in there. What does it feel like? That's how you start pinpointing your emotions and actually feeling them in the moment, right? Instead of so we can get away from this trapping the emotions. Because guess what happens? Then when crap hits the fan, we're completely triggered, we're unhinged, we absolutely lose it, right? We don't already have a system set up where we have that business bestie that we could be like, hey, what's up? Guess what? I need your help. Like I need it right now. The same way they would do that for you and you would do that for them, vice versa. So I'm really wanting to encourage people, especially creative people, to reach out of their comfort zone and say, hey, I need someone that will do this for me and I will do it for them. And it needs to be someone that's committed to a growth mindset and someone who's not going to get in the call and just talk about themselves, who's going to ask me questions and going to really help me sort out what's going on my side. If we can do that and we can really find someone to help fill that void for us, I feel like burnout wouldn't even be a topic. Like it wouldn't even be a topic, okay? It would be something that we're like, oh yeah, that happens sometimes to some people. Wouldn't that be just freaking amazing? I will say that I don't think this can be achieved just in a normal community on Facebook because honestly, they're not super authentic, right? People go in there and they complain or they mention that they need help with something. And then the other people just comment with complaints or, yeah, you can't do anything about that. That's just how life is these days. Or, the market's horrible or whatever. And there's no support in that. It's false to think that that's support. It's not at all. Oh, all it is misery loves company. Sorry, just going to say it. So this is what I want for you to do for me today, okay? Once you finish listening to this, I want you to stop what you're doing and really think and say, who is it that I know out there that owns a business, that is also a creative, doesn't have to be a photographer, doesn't have to be into video or graphics, whatever, doesn't have to be the exact same, but somebody who is maybe on their own a lot of times, even if it seems like they are super sociable, okay? Think of somebody where you have respect for them and they have respect for you, but they're not already like in your friend group that you talk to every day or that you even talk to once a week. Like it's somebody outside of that has similar goals as you and you can see them kicking butt or at least trying to. Right? We want to find somebody like that because we want to make sure that the boundaries are clear, that we say to them, hey, you know what? You know how it is. We're in this world where we're working for ourselves, we're by ourselves a lot. And I really want to establish a business bestie. I want to have someone where we meet, whatever it is, maybe once a week, maybe you don't need that much, maybe you just need every other week or once a month. But basically, we'll meet during that time, we'll share what's going on in our business, we'll, make a commitment to uplift each other and to help troubleshoot maybe anything that comes up, even if it's something tiny, even if it's something that you already know the answer to, but you just sometimes need that reassurance from somebody else that can say, yeah, I can relate to that. So this is how we build up an entire community. And that is something I'm big on. And I feel like it just isn't shared enough. Now, if somebody texts me and said that to me and said, Aubrey, can you, well, first off, I'd have to check my schedule. But then right after that, I guarantee you, I would love to have that. And so I'm actually going to be doing that this week too. I'm not leaving you guys hanging. I never, ever tell you to do something that I don't do or that I don't at least accomplish in some way. Okay. So I am with you on this, and I think it's going to be huge. And you know what? I think it's a beautiful thing to have a business bestie just for that purpose. Okay. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what happened. I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you found a new bestie, what's up? But yeah, let me know, because I feel like this is going to be huge as a way for us to force ourselves in a loving way to reach out to someone and to understand that someone's in our back corner, specifically for this purpose. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing weekend. And I can't wait to hear back from you guys. And I have been doing so much extra things in my business this past week. Things are really starting to mold. So if you guys aren't in my email list, make sure you add yourself to that, or check me out on my Instagram stories. I'm going to be announcing it's going to be a very soft program release that has to do with creatives, obviously, and being able to learn to use your intuition. It's going to be a smaller program, but if you hit me up on Instagram and you sign up before I officially launch it, then it'll be half off. So it's going to be like this incredible, amazing deal, and it's going to be ran live. So you get lots of time with me. It's just going to be awesome. So if you're on Instagram, make sure you're following me and you're checking out my stories, or hop into the email list. But I'll probably put on Instagram first. I haven't decided yet. So, all right, guys, see you later. I hope this podcast spoke to you in some way. If it did, please go ahead and leave me a review and subscribe so that I know you're enjoying what you hear. And further, if you know somebody else who owns their own creative business and struggles with anything that we spoke about, please pass this on, because it is my hope that we will be able to build a community of like-minded individuals who love on each other and appreciate the many facets that make our creative business so unique. And lastly, check out the show notes to find my free Facebook community and other useful links to work with me. All right, friend, see you soon.